Good morning, KNB. I'm so happy to share this book with you today. It's called Who Eats What in the Desert? I have 4 books in this set. Today we'll read about the desert food chain. Another day we'll read about the prairie food chain, the forest food chain, and the ocean food chain. A food chain shows how plants and animals get energy. They can't go to a supermarket like us, right? So they must get energy or food from where they live in nature. You might feel sad to see some animals eat other animals in these books, but just remember that this is how they get energy or food in order to survive and live in their habitats. So when we read these books, we're going to learn a little bit about how each animal or plant gets energy. Now, before we read, we're going to do something that's called pre-reading. Pre-reading is something you do before you read a book. Pre means before, pre-reading. Before you read, you might already know some things to help you read and understand. You might know some true facts about this topic. You might see something on this cover that helps you. You might have read something else or watched something about the desert. Or maybe you went somewhere with your family in the desert. When you read, you might notice something you already know, or you might actually learn something new. You might learn something new. These are all pre-reading helpers. Let's look at some words to help us then we'll start reading. So here you'll see WH. Now this word is very tricky. It has WH and that's a pattern that we're learning. But this word is not wah. This word is tricky. The letters don't make the usual sound. WHO here says who. Who eats what in the desert? WH here, w. W and H get together and they say what? Who eats what in the desert? This is written by Robbie Everly and Katie Axt. Who eats what in the desert? This is a desert. There are plants in the desert. This is a prickly pear cactus, a barrel cactus, agave plant, saguaro cactus, yucca plant, and the flowering cactus. There are animals in the desert. The animals have to eat to live. They can't go to a supermarket, right? A bird, a mouse, a toad, snake, scorpion, weevil, grasshopper, lizard, owl. Who eats what? This is a plant. Now the plants get their energy from sunlight. They draw in water from the ground, even though the desert is dry. Then the plants give energy to all of these other animals. We'll watch. We'll see. The little bug eats the plant. The big bug eats the little bug. The lizard eats the big bug. Who eats the lizard? Who eats the lizard? Which one of these? Do these animals eat the lizard? The toad, the mouse, the snake. Let's find out. The snake eats the lizard. This is a plant. Remember, this is one of the cactuses, right? Or cacti. The mouse eats the plant. The lizard eats the mouse. The snake eats the lizard. Who eats the snake? Does the big bug eat the snake? Does the owl eat the snake? Does the toad eat the snake? Let's find out. The owl, the owl eats the snake. This is a plant. The bug eats the plant. The toad eats the bug. The snake eats the toad. The owl eats the snake. The owl eats lots of animals. The owl in this book, in the desert, is at the top of the food chain. Nobody else eats the owl. Who eats the owl? I already told you. Nobody eats the owl. No one eats the owl. Next on the next book, I won't tell you what happens, right? Let's look at this now. Are you ready? I'm just going to fold this back. This is a chart that shows the desert food web. Now the arrow shows where the energy is going. So the plant is at the bottom of the food chain. The plant gets its energy from sunlight, and then it draws in moisture from the ground, right, to drink. So the plant gives energy to the mouse. I'm just going to bring it as close as I can. Here we go. Let me just point. Here's my pointer. The plant gives energy to the mouse and the bugs. Now, the bugs give energy to the mouse, the snake, the owl, the toad, and the scorpion. So bugs are very important in nature. They give energy or food to lots of animals. Let's look at the mouse. The mouse gives energy to the lizard, the snake, and the owl. So the mouse is also important because it's giving energy to these animals. Now let's go up a little higher. Look at the snake. The snake gives energy to the lizard, but look, the lizard also eats the snake. So they both eat each other at different times to get energy. Then the snake, let's see, the snake gives energy to the owl, so the owl can eat a snake. The lizard gives energy to the owl, but the owl eats the lizard, but the lizard is not eaten by any of these other animals. Look at the toad. The toad gives energy to the owl, the snake, only two. Now, the scorpion is, you would think the scorpion would be lower on the food chain, but look at this. The scorpion gives energy to the lizard, and the scorpion gives energy to the owl. So the owl eats the scorpion, and the lizard eats the scorpion. Now the owl is at the top of the food chain. The owl is the only one in the desert here out of these animals that does not get eaten. I wonder if other animals in the desert are there. Maybe there are other animals in the desert that are not in this book. Do any other animals in the desert? Are there other animals? I should say it this way. Are there other animals in the desert that eat the owl? Maybe you can look it up and find out. But tomorrow we'll read another book that's all about the food chain, but another habitat. I'm so happy to share a book with you today, KNB. Have a great day. Try your best. Give lots of hugs, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.